Daddy.
Now who can say no to that? So it's off to the shop I go. I pull out my planer and find some scrap 2x6s. Run those through the planer to make sure they're nice and flat and smooth. Then I head over to the table saw. I need to resaw these down to 1/4 inch. I don't have a bandsaw to do so. The challenge is my blade only cuts 3 1/4 inches deep, so I have to pass it through on one side, flip it over, and pass it through on the other edge in order to cut all the way through the board. Once I get my boards cut down to the 1/4 inch, I head over for a quick sanding before heading back to the table saw and using my cross-cut sled to cut all of my pieces down to size. When they're cut down to size, I'm going to find my side pieces and put a 21-degree angle, which will allow the top of the sides to align with the roof. Do the same thing with the roof, that way the peaks will meet nicely in the middle. Then I take my front and back pieces. Using that same 21-degree angle, I cut the roof lines out of those. Then it's over to the bandsaw. No, still don't have one of those. So I grab my jigsaw and cut the door out for the garage. With all the pieces now cut out, it's time for assembly. I start by aligning my sides with the bottom and attaching those with glue and some brad nails. I'm really only using the brad nails to hold everything in place while the glue dries. I did have a little bit of a problem with blowout since I was using brad nails in 1/4 inch material, but I can come back and fix that later. So it's on to spreading some glue with my God-given glue spreader and attaching the roof. Notice the line I drew to center the roof to make sure everything gets lined up correctly, and then attach it with some brad nails. Repeating the process, I put the other half of the roof on, and that 21-degree angle met up nicely. Now you'll notice the nail holes. I did come back with some wood filler and fill those in and sanded everything nicely before moving on to paint. Don't worry, I wiped everything nice and clean so that there's no sawdust left before I started painting. Start my paint with the bottom and then move to the roof. I wanted these two sections to be black, and I repeated this process for 3 coats of paint. After everything was dried, I came back with that magical blue tape and covered up the roof. Let's make this go fast this time. That's better. After I had that covered up, I came back with a hobby knife and trimmed off the edges. Then I repeated the process for the bottom. It's so satisfying watching that hobby knife make those sharp lines. Switching to my red paint, I painted the inside and then moved to the front, the sides, and the back. Once again, doing 3 coats, but only showing you guys 1. If you're wondering about my fancy spray booth, I made it out of some scrap wood and plastic I had laying around. There will not be a link in the description for this one. With all the paint dry, it's time to remove that blue tape and check out those crisp lines. Oh, hey look, there's something happening in the background. Yes, that's a glue up for another video I'm working on. So if you want to see what I'm building, make sure to click that subscribe button so you'll get notified when that video comes up. Also check the end screen of this video because when I have the new video up, it will be linked there. There's my finished product. Nice little toy garage that my son has requested. I think it turned out pretty good. Let's go see what he thinks about it. Here's your garage.
Thank you. Thank you.
That smile right there, folks, is why I would go through all the trouble to build a toy garage. If you like that video, check out these other videos and make sure to click that subscribe button.